Q&A video coming soon. Write below your questions relating to my Piggy Antflix series and you might appear in that video. So here we are. I mean, they really need to change the name of Q&A because it just doesn't really sound very nice. It just sounds too formal. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go through all of these comments, and I'll be honest, I haven't actually read any of these questions. So I might read some out and be like, oh, that's a bit weird. I mean, I might have seen them as they kind of like popped up on my phone or something like that, but that's literally about it. I have no idea what you guys are actually going to ask me. I haven't also forget that there is also people asking me over on YouTube as well, so I did a Q&A over on Twitter and YouTube, so don't worry, I'm going to be going through both. So let's start with Wenham and Jane Sama.
How in the world do you say that name?
What is your most favorite part of the Piggy journey from 2020 to 2022, like for example a release of a chapter or something certain era, etc.? That is a good question. I would first of all say I love the fact that it's finally brought up my YouTube channel. I've been doing YouTube since I was in 2015. I think it was 2015 I've been doing YouTube, and it has been a slow, steady pace the entire time. Before I hit Piggy, I think I was on 18,000 subscribers for roughly 3 years straight. I think it hadn't changed whatsoever. I then started to hit Roblox Piggy, and my channel just boomed. I don't know why, it just did. So I think I'm very appreciative of like what Piggy has done, which I think is why I'm still doing it, because I find it hard to kind of get away from something that has, I know it sounds weird or corny, but with something that has a bit of meaning to me, like it's helped me out in my life, so I feel like I can't break away from it. Okay, the next one is from Zero. Well, Ant, I have a question. In real Piggy game, player knows Willow, and that's a key thing in book 2. But in your Antflix series, in an episode, Willow said she didn't know player. So how will book 2 work if they don't know each other? Good question. I think I worded it in a way where I think Ant knows of Willow. They don't necessarily know each other. I think that Ant just knows of Willow because she was like this criminal and that she was most wanted and all of that kind of stuff. So I think that I mentioned that they only just know of Willow, but obviously Willow isn't going to know Ant. I don't know, unless I've made a mistake. I don't know, I have to check, but I think that's in my head what I've got. The next one is from some random video game enjoyer. Is Miltricia in any way biologically related to the believed villain that it was seen in the sewers? Asking because this is personally what I think. Well, now that the other video has gone out, yes, I can confirm they are biologically, you know, what's the word? Biologically related. There you go. I couldn't even think of the word there. But yes, Miltricia is this person's daughter and this person is Miltricia's father. So yes, that has now been confirmed. Next one is from Ryan M7288 and they ask, will you ever turn Antflix into a Roblox game? That is a good question and I get asked this all the time. The only thing is I don't actually know how I would turn Antflix into a game. Maybe if I got some more characters into the game, then maybe I could have like a role play or something like that. But I feel like if I was to make a game, there's absolutely no way that I would be able to help on it, just simply because I have no idea how to properly code or anything like that. So it would be a case of paying someone to actually create it for me. They also asked, because it was a good question, what is your favorite perspective? Player slash Doggy's perspective, Willow slash Tigre's perspective, or George slash Mateo's perspective? Another good question. I've really tried to kind of work on like the personalities of all of these characters and their kind of like relation that they have with each other. I don't know. I think I quite enjoyed the Willow slash Tigre one because it's quite confusing, which I kind of wanted, but I want it to go in a way where you guys at the end are going to be like, oh, okay, do you know what I mean? So I quite enjoyed that, and I quite like the fact that I brought Billy into the storyline as well, just because, I don't know, I feel like Mini 2 missed a trick with Billy, because Billy is such a cool character and could have such a personality to him as well. So yeah, I would, if out of all of them, I would probably say Willow, Tigre, or the George and Mateo. Definitely not the player and Doggy, I don't think. I think the player one, I feel like we already know that storyline, so that's the one that I would probably stay away from. But I would say either Willow or Tigre or George and Mateo. Cookie Games asks, will Breakout also be an episode? If it was an extra chapter, then yes, we are going to be having a distorted memory chapter in this one, so that kind of answers your question. The Real TTV Connor Gaming Roblox says, do you have plans to make plushies of the other characters in Antflix, like Miltricia or Ant? Well, I did try to make a plushie, but the campaign,
It didn't go as well as I had hoped for.
reason being, I was away for like a week or two, so I couldn't even promote it that much. So every time I promoted it, I would make quite a few sales. But the frustrating thing is that I was away for such a long time and it was such a busy period for me. I just didn't have time to basically say, you know, there's a Mateo plushie right here. So unfortunately, that campaign didn't go through and didn't work. But yeah, I would love to make more plushies. I'm not sure if it would be with the same company because we've already had a failed campaign, which means that everybody that did like purchase one would have got refunded and received an email. So yeah, that's answered, I think. What or who inspired you most to create the Piggy Antflix series? Okay, so I think it's a no-brainer that I really enjoyed watching animations before we actually created this whole entire like series. I would do the top 10 animations and the origin stories and stuff like that. So I think as a collective, probably everyone. But again, as corny as it sounds, kind of like myself, because I like learning. I know it sounds weird because you guys, some of you guys maybe go to school and you're a bit like, oh, I really don't want to go to school today. Personally, I love learning and I like learning new things. So I kind of told myself, do you know what? Animation does pretty well on YouTube. Why don't you just teach yourself to do a bit of animation? You're learning something new and you're getting a win-win out of it. So in a way, kind of myself, because I like to learn new things and I want to push myself to better myself in a way. What was the full letter that was covered by blood? What were those full words? As if I'm going to tell you that. Are you going to make your own music for certain episodes? Absolutely not, because I am not a musician. What do you use to make animations and how long does an episode usually take to make, says Bullet Warning? Well, let me say this. It does depend on how much animation does go into it, and let's be honest, there's not a lot of animation that goes into mine, and I've made that very, very clear that I'm pretty much just a storyteller at this point. However, I use Moon Animator to create my like animations. I don't do anything with Blender. That I think would just throw my old brain into like a spiral of death. I just don't think that I could learn two things at once. I'm quite happy just learning Moon Animator for now, and then maybe in the future going over to Blender and learning something over there. But I use Moon Animator, and then to edit it, I use Premiere Pro. Who was that rat that chased George in the sewers and kidnapped Mateo and Miltricia? Ooh, and Miltricia? Okay. Will there be a book 2 in the series? Will it be season 2? Well, yes, maybe. Will Mr. Stitchy be included in October? Mr. Stitchy will be included, Sam Cool YT. Whenever I want him to, really. He's in the next episode, as a matter of fact. Ooh, spoiler. Who is your favourite character from the Piggy Antflix series? Good question. Ooh, I would go with, I do like Mateo. I don't know why. I kind of like the mysteriousness behind Miltricia as well, because I've got a really, really good bit of storyline for Miltricia too. So I think maybe Miltricia towards the end of the series, but definitely Mateo, because I feel like I've kind of brought him up in a way where I've given him a bit of personality. You kind of feel sorry for the kid, and yeah, maybe Mateo. Have Mateo have a lost sister or brother? And did Mateo ever meet Penny or Pony or Zizzy before? That was really hard to read, Captain Animations. Well, let me tell you this. No, I've not really figured out a lost sister or brother for Mateo, and no, Mateo never met Penny or Pony or Zizzy before. Not that I know of anyway. No Devs says, which episode took the longest to make and how long did it take? Good question. Let me go through them all. I would probably say, I mean, the one that just went out was quite hard work to make. I don't remember why. I think that there was just a few things that kept going wrong on the computer. So that was quite painful. But I think I had a 23-minute one at one point, and that took quite some time. Honestly, I just don't remember. Yeah, I can't really give you an answer for that one, but they normally take about 2 weeks to create in total. Will you accept voice actors for other characters. No! Stop asking me. I get emails. It does my head in. No, I will not be accepting voice actors for other characters. I've said this so many times, I'm going to say it again, and I'm never going to say it. Probably I'm going to say it again. I am not going to be doing voice actors because I do not want to chase people to get their lines. Also, if they decide that they're away on a holiday or whatever, I then have to wait for them to get back to be able to get their voice. It just doesn't work. And I would just prefer to just do it like me and that be it. I might get Emily or something to do like a few other characters, but no, I'm not going to have voice actors. I'm not going to accept anybody in for voice acting. I'm sorry, I know that I get loads of questions asking, can you voice act? The answer is no. Will Mateo play a much bigger role in the Antflix in continuing episodes? It depends what you consider as a bigger role. Sure. Yeah, let's go with sure. See, look, there's another one right there. Do you have people in mind to voice act? No! Z was XD says, did Pony marry Zizzy? Yes, they did. They did get married, yes. Will the non-canon maps get episodes? Winter Holiday and RB Battles. I think I will do a Winter Holiday one for Christmas this year. Although that one did come out in the middle of book 2. We shall see. I'm not sure. RB Battles, no. I don't even think I ever played that map because I was away on holiday at that point. So, definitely no to RB Battles. What was your favourite episode to make? Oh, okay, so I really liked the storyline where, because like I said, I want to try and stay close to the Piggy storyline, but I want to differentiate from it a little bit. Meaning that what you're used to in the future of Piggy might not happen in this one. And I know I'm going to get loads of comments like, oh my goodness, this doesn't happen in the actual Piggy. Yeah, I know, but I'm changing it up for my purposes, okay? What was the question again? What was your favourite episode to make? I went off. Okay, what was my favourite episode? I think I would say Albert. I think Albert, that one was a really, really cool episode. I think that the whole kind of like, if Bunny drinks the potion, because she's trapped in that room now, she was locked inside. If Bunny drinks the potion, then she obviously becomes normal, but she will die of hunger and thirst. If she doesn't drink it, she becomes infected, but there's also a vaccine there waiting. So it's kind of like this, did she drink it, did she not? Ooh, we'll soon find out. Woo! Will you do Intercity? If it ever comes out, yeah. Questions. An Antixx Piggy Antflix merch soon? Good question. I did have it once, but then when we had that weird email come through, I deleted everything, including videos. So yeah, it was a bit of a weird time, that one, and it really messed up with the whole momentum of the series. I was getting like big views, and then all of a sudden, still getting big views. Very, very appreciative of the views I'm still getting. But I think my first ever episode is close to 1 million views, and I think a few others were like 500,000, and it slowly depleted. But then when this weird email hit, everything just went crashing. But it's kind of picking up again a little bit now. But again, what was the question? Merch. Yes, maybe. I keep going away from the actual question so much. Yes, I hope to add merch soon. Maybe in time for Christmas. We shall see. Will X get revealed after book 2? Ooh, I was thinking, do I say it or not? Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna say it. The last episode of this season is called X. That's it. What was the most annoying animation to animate? Like the most tedious? Honestly, the beginning of the last episode where George was climbing the ladder and I just said his name. Okay, I bleeped that out. I bleeped it out. I'm bleeping it out. You're not finding out his name. But yeah, hopefully I put something over my mouth so that you couldn't even figure it out. Okay, I'm hiding his name. But the dude that was chasing George up the ladder, I think that was the most tedious because it was such a confined space and I didn't really have an awful lot to like work with. So yeah, maybe that one. Has Mateo subscribed to Gaming with Lex? I don't know, but he should do. Are you going to keep your profile bold forever? Thanks, lols, funny comedian. Yes, I am. Okay, so I think that's all the questions I want to answer over on Twitter. So let's head on over to YouTube to see if we have any different questions.